Wow, end of another bearish day and end of another bearish week. This is Mark the Meerkat Suffering here with your weekend review for May the 18th, 2012. Well, and a historic day. Facebook opens, and look at, here's the 3-minute chart on Facebook for today. It opened way up here, and then it fell down and came back up and then dropped down, and boy, it closed up big. Yeah, 38.23 to up 23 cents or 0.61%. Well, we'll see what happens after this. Let's take a look at what the markets did today. Down again. That's right. Here we go. We got the Dow down 0.59%, the S&P down 0.74%. And then the Nasdaq down 1.24%. It led the way down along with the small caps, and the Russell was down 0.94. When these two are down the most, that means very bearish sign. Banks were at 0.59, which actually confirmed the Dow, and the VIX was up 2.49%. Look at this. It's over 25. Sure am glad that I bought those 19 calls. Here we go. And the gold was up and silver was up. Oil was down and the dollar was actually down today. And the trend is here at 7.9%. It is low but doesn't trigger the Grok graduate secret trade. So let's take a look, if we would, at the S&P 500. This is the S&P 500 daily chart. It is ugly on a monkey, as Des would say, who happens to be, by the way, on a motorcycling road trip this weekend. And look at that. We came all the way down and we crashed right through the 1300 level. And now it's next level of support, the good old big red here, the 200 period moving average at 1278. And then below that we have the support level at 1266 area. Not looking very good, is it? That is the daily chart. Let's take a look at the weekly. Well, this is ugly on a chimpanzee for sure. Look at that huge drop. This is the biggest drop this year in the S&P 500 for the week. Next we got the monthly. And look at the monthly. It has wiped out all of their gains for February, March, and April. And then we're back to about halfway through what January was. Look at that. Okay, next let's take a look at the Dow. Here's the Dow daily chart, and look at that. Looks like a falling knife, doesn't it? And again, we have had 12 of 13 days to the downside of the market. Next area support here, right at 12,300 area. And then we've got the 200 period moving average right under that at around 12,198. Well, let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly, bam, look at that. Again, largest drop this year. Next we have a monthly. Bam, look at that. Okay, and it wipes out again all but over half of what we made in January. Everything in February, March, and April. We are going down. Okay, let's take next to look at the Nasdaq. Here's the Nasdaq daily chart. Whoa, look at that. See, look at this. A low base breakdown. Just like that. Happens on the daily charts too. And boy, this is just bare heaven right now, isn't it? And today broke 2,800 on our way down. Next area of support is here at the big red, which is at 2741. And then below that at the 2700 level would be our next area of support. Let's take a look at the weekly. Bam, look at that. After this huge up run, just killing us here, isn't it? And now we're going to be taking a look at the monthly. Oh boy, look at that month. And the month is only half over, and when here again it wiped out all of February, March, and April's gains, and just a little bit of January's at this point. Next we have the Russell, the small caps. Here's the Russell daily. Now yesterday, Matt, our futures and analyst, showed us this head and shoulders pattern which broke the neckline and started to fall. And 80% of what this was is your expected fall. And look at that, we're almost down to it. We broke the 200 period moving average today, And that line down there is around 735 is the next area of support. Ironically, I found that area of support before he actually posted that. Funny how coincidences happen. Let's take a look at the Russell Weekly. Russell Weekly, here you can see that head and shoulders pattern playing itself out. And then on the monthly, now this one is ugly. Look at that. It has now wiped out everything that we gained in January, February, March, and April. Heading on its way down there. Next, let's take a look at the VIX. This is the VIX daily. And it came up here, and it hit the 100 period moving average, and then it came up here and hit the 100, and then it broke through, came back here for support. And that's when I loaded up on some 19 VIX calls. And now, was it when it was at 18? Today it closed at 25.10, and I got out of 3/4 of those today. Bought them for $4.20, sold them for $9. You do the math. That's a good trade in a down market. So I am Mark the Meerkat Suffren, and if you go to the free online trading education site and go to the trading videos and the broad market review every day, Des or one of us does it for him. And then the stocks is the one that I do. Again, here I am down here. I do a stock. I review one of the trades that we had in the Grok room in the morning. See and learn from those each and every day. The futures, now Matt is going to be doing those. And we have ETFs, which are done by Carolina, which she talks about the trades on their QQQ. And then we have the Spanish version by Miguel, as well as Nitza. This is Mark the Meerkat Trader, and as Jesse Livermore, one of the great commodity traders of all time, said once, some days you go long, some days you go short, and some days you just go fishing.